Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga will be featuring a whopping 30 to 40 boss fights in the new game. With the latest trailer that showed us even more about the game and even more of the boss fights, I've decided that it's finally time to do every single boss fight in the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga confirmed. Now, in this video, I will be talking about some speculated boss fights that we don't actually have evidence that could be in the game. So I'll throw in some ones that I really hope are going to be in the game. Most of these are pretty much confirmed. So there are three kind of levels of confirmation. Number one, I'll give you an example, the Duel of Fates. We know the Duel of Fates is in the game because we've seen it in the trailer. Number two is something that we don't know if it's going to be a boss fight, but it looks like we know it's going to be in the game, but we don't know if it's actually a boss fight or something. It could be like a mini boss or it could be a full-on boss. And then the third ones are going to be ones that I'm just basically speculating. But that's basically everything for the intro, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, but let's get right into it. So I will be going in chronological order, starting with Phantom Menace all the way to the Rise of Skywalker. So starting off first, we have a confirmed level, which is the Bongo, which is the Jar Jar, basically the one with Jar Jar, Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan, where they go in that ship. And basically they have to fight the big gooper fish that you get to see in the Phantom Menace. So originally we didn't think this was going to be a boss fight. That was going to be more of like a chase sequence, but it is confirmed in the storyboard that we got to see in the last trailer. If you zoom in very carefully, you can see that there's a boss bar right on top of there. So it is confirmed to be a boss fight. That one looks like it could be really cool because that wasn't in the original game, and I really always wanted that to be a level, but it never was. So that one looks like it could be really cool and a surprising one. Next boss fight that could possibly happen, which we haven't seen this in any trailers, but this is just speculation, is we could see Qui-Gon versus Darth Maul on Tatooine. Because if you remember the movie, Qui-Gon has a quick duel with Darth Maul on Tatooine right when they're about to leave with Anakin. So that could possibly be, we haven't seen it in the trailers at all, and we haven't seen it on the storyboard right here. It's nowhere there, but it still possibly could be in the game as part of another level. And then the next two ones that we have confirmed is the Duel of the Fates for the Phantom Menace. Obviously, we've seen this all the way from the first trailer all the way to the most recent trailer. This is probably one of the most seen boss fights in this game, and probably one of the most requested boss fights that everybody wants to see how they're going to adapt it in this new game. Then the final boss fight, which could be a boss fight. It's not really considered a boss fight, I guess, but it's Anakin versus the Trade Federation ship at the end of the Phantom Menace. That is confirmed to be in the game, and though we don't know if it's actually considered a boss fight, we're assuming that's going to be considered a ship boss fight, is what they're kind of called. I know a lot of people don't exactly love these, but they look like they could be adapted to be even better in this game than in the original game. So next we'll move on to Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. So to start things off, we know that Obi-Wan and Anakin versus Zam Wesell will be a level. And this level will have two parts. The first part will most likely be you flying around. You have to shoot her ship, which was a level in the complete saga, which personally I did not like that level at all. But it looks like it could be adapted to be even better. And possibly we could even see a quick duel in the bar when Obi-Wan wants to go buy some death sticks. We could see a quick duel in there. As you can see on the storyboard right here, it says the level is titled Assassination. So it looks like that could be a boss fight right there. But that is another confirmed boss fight against Zam Wesell. The next one that we get to see is Obi-Wan versus Jango Fett on Camino. And this one, we obviously knew it was going to be in the game, but it was confirmed on the storyboard right here. If you go find it over here, you'll see, I'll point an arrow to it, you'll see that it has a big boss bar above. So that is that. And then we also saw in another trailer that Obi-Wan versus Slave One in the asteroid field, with Slave One launching seismic charges at Obi-Wan and the very satisfying sound. That is another level to be confirmed in the game. Again, on the storyboard right here, we get to see it again. So next thing that we have is this one is, I didn't really know if this was going to be a boss fight. I honestly got this from one of Rugged Eagle's videos. I was watching one of his videos, and he thought that this could be a boss fight. So I just thought I'd throw it in the list anyways. Shout out to Rugged Eagle. But basically, if you remember in the second trailer, you could see Jango Fett was lowering down. Here, I'll play the scene. Jango Fett was lowering down, and it looks like he was about to capture... it looks like he was about to capture Anakin and Padme. Now, I didn't know if this could actually be a boss fight. I didn't think it could be a boss fight, but since Rugged Eagle thinks it could be, it possibly could be. But I'm going to lean that this might not be a boss fight and simply just a cutscene, to be honest. The next one that is pretty much confirmed is Obi-Wan / Anakin versus the Reek, the Acklay, and the Nexus. Now, the Reek, the Acklay, and the Nexus, though that's a mouthful, those were the creatures that they were trying to get to kill, that New Gunner was trying to get to kill Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Padme in Attack of the Clones. Now, we have not seen this boss fight in the game. We have seen the Reek, the Acklay, and the Nexus in the background of some scenes, and this is most likely going to be a boss fight. This was featured in the complete saga and in LEGO Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars. So this is most likely an easy one, and we probably know this is going to be in the game. Next, we got Mace Windu versus Jango Fett. Now, this one is confirmed in one scene right here. You can see that. You can see Mace Windu running up towards Jango Fett. It looks like he's about to behead him. And we definitely know this is going to be a game because, let's be honest, this is one of the coolest scenes in Attack of the Clones. And honestly, I really like this boss fight. This boss fight looks like it could be even better in this game because basically when you're such a cool character, and so is Jango Fett, their abilities are almost so powerful that they almost match each other perfectly. So that is a confirmed boss fight. Obi-Wan and Anakin versus Count Dooku is another confirmed boss fight. If you go to the storyboard and you scroll down to the bottom right there, you can see right there, it is a confirmed boss fight. And then Yoda versus Count Dooku is another confirmed boss fight. You can see down here on the storyboard, and then you can see in this scene that flashes right here. You can't see it's confirmed. Next, we'll move on to Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Now, starting off right at the beginning, everybody knew this one was going to be the game. Anakin and Obi-Wan versus Dooku. So this is the one where Anakin does behead Dooku, putting an end to him. And this is confirmed in the game. You can see in multiple shots right here. It's obviously going to be the game. We knew it was going to be. Next is one of probably the most anticipated boss fights. And I'm personally really excited for this one. The Hello There boss fight. So Obi-Wan versus General Grievous. This one is confirmed in multiple shots right here. And I remember seeing this one first in the original trailer, and this just got me super hyped for Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. The boss fights in this game look super cool, and they even said in an interview that they're going to try to steer the game more to boss fights and ship battles is what they said they try to steer it more to. So it looks like they've really put a lot of effort into making these boss fights look beautiful, and they look like they could be some of the greatest parts of the game. Next, we have the Eye in the Senate boss fight. Now, this one's a little complicated. Originally, we wish this was going to be the game, and I really hoped it was going to be the game, and it looks like it is going to be in the game. Now, there are two shots that suggest that this is going to be the game. First, right here, you can see Anakin igniting his lightsaber, which looks to be in the background. You can see some red. That looks like it could be Palpatine's office, and matches the scene of Revenge of the Sith pretty much perfectly. The next scene right here, which was in the newest trailer, is definitely confirming that it's in the game. You can see Mace Windu and Palpatine dueling on the window. Now, at first glance, this looks like it could be a cutscene, but this is definitely an actual level, and it pretty much confirms it to be in the game. The next one is going to be Yoda versus Palpatine, which we actually know that this episode is going to be called Senate Showdown. This is going to be a whole level. Now, I really wanted this to be in the game. This was not in the complete saga, and I was a little disappointed with that not being the complete saga, but it looks like it's going to be in this game. And you can see it in one shot right here, which then confirms that it's going to be the game. And this is another one that, like I said, I was really excited to see. Then the final one of Revenge of the Sith. This is another one that we've seen the most footage for, probably in the game. I'm trademarking this. It's called the Duel of the Friends. So yeah, I got it trademarked as the Duel of the Friends. So this one, obviously you know it. It's Anakin versus Obi-Wan. This one is another one that I'm really excited for, especially with the lava. And like in the original game, they couldn't exactly capture the effects perfectly because we can't blame them. It was an old game, 2005 or 2006. So it's not really fair to blame them, but this one looks like it could be even cooler with the effects and like the clashes, and oh my god, it looks like it's going to be one of the greatest boss fights again. Next, we'll move on to Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. So the first one, which honestly, A New Hope didn't have many boss fights to really, like we only have one confirmed boss fight in A New Hope, so there weren't many boss fights to go by. But the only one that we have confirmed, which honestly really surprised me, this one, is Luke versus the Dianoga. Now, if you do not know what a Dianoga is, which honestly, if I heard the word Dianoga, I would have no idea what it is. It is a creature that resides in the Death Star's junk pit, which is, they captured it in A New Hope. It was only a quick scene, but in a shot right here, you can see Luke kind of being taken by the Dianoga. And then if you look on the storyboard, you can see that there's a little health bar above the Dianoga, confirming it to be a boss. The next boss fight, now the next two boss fights, I cannot confirm are going to be the game, but I'm speculating that they might be the game. First one is Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader, which was obviously in A New Hope, and I really hope this one was going to be the game. I speculated it before to be in the game, and I do hope this will be in the game. I think that would make a perfect boss fight, and honestly, if they put one boss fight in A New Hope, I feel like it would be slightly boring. So I think two boss fights would make perfect, and an even better one, we could do a boss fight with Luke Skywalker versus Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. That could be a boss fight again, but we have no evidence to support that. So far, we only have one confirmed boss fight for Star Wars A New Hope. Next, we'll move on to The Empire Strikes Back, which again has a lot of boss fights in this one. First one that we have, which is just purely speculation, is Luke Skywalker versus the AT-AT. So this one was simply a cutscene in the complete saga, and I feel like this would work perfect for a boss fight right here. So basically, you slash at its legs, you try to tie it up. Maybe it will make it a mini boss fight. I don't really know if this could be a boss fight, but I just popped it on the list because why not? The next confirmed boss fight that we have is Lando and Leia versus Slave One. Now this one really surprised me because I didn't actually think it was going to be the game until a while ago. If you look at the trailer right here, there are two shots that suggest that this is going to be the game. Number one, this one right here, you can see them shooting at Slave One, and again, you can see it in this shot right here. This is not confirmed to be the game, but this is definitely, it looks exactly like it's a boss fight. So this is another ship boss fight, which I know a lot of people don't like, but this is definitely a boss fight, and it looks like it actually could be pretty cool. The next one that I hope could be in the game, this is simply speculation, is Luke Skywalker versus Darth Vader, but actually the dream sequence. If you remember in The Empire Strikes Back, he has a kind of a vision of him fighting Vader and then seeing himself under Vader's helmet, foreshadowing the "I am your father" scene. So this looks like it could be a level. This wasn't the complete saga, so it looks like it could be part of the level. Basically, maybe a quick thing. I just popped it on the list because why not? The only one the last one that we know in The Empire Strikes Back is obviously Luke Skywalker versus Vader. We've seen this one in this shot right here, and then we saw the end of it, the "No, I am your father," right here in this cutscene right here. Next, we'll move on to Return of the Jedi. This one has a lot of boss fights again. The first confirmed one that we have is Luke Skywalker versus the Rancor. We saw this one way back in the second official trailer, and this one is being seen in 2 shots so far. I'll pop them up on screen right now. So yes, this is a confirmed boss fight. The next one, which I know is going to be in the game, but we have no evidence to support it, is Luke Skywalker versus Boba Fett. This was in the complete saga, and we already know it's going to be this game, because obviously Boba Fett's death. And I also, just to pop this out right now, I wonder if they're going to put Boba Fett, like hinting him to be alive. I don't know if they're actually going to do that. Sorry, this is off subject, but just wanted to talk about that. The next confirmed one that we have is obviously Luke Skywalker versus Vader. We saw it in this shot right here, and then we know it's going to be in the game. Another one that I think could be a boss fight, kind of, I guess. I don't know. I just threw it on this list because why not? Luke Skywalker versus Palpatine's guards. So we see one shot right here of Luke Skywalker fighting the guards. I don't think it's a boss fight because as you can see, there's small health bars above each of them. I just popped it on this list. It's probably not a boss fight. The next confirmed one that we have is Luke Skywalker and Vader versus Palpatine. We can see it in the end of the official trailer right here. I'll pop it up on screen. There we go. That's what I usually use as my outro for my videos. So that is, again, another confirmed boss fight, and it looks like it could be really cool. We haven't seen much of that boss fight, but it looks like it could be cool again because we've seen it twice before. Once in LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens, and the other time in LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. So that's another very anticipated boss fight, at least for me. Next, we'll move on to Uncharted Territory. We got the sequel trilogy. I know a lot of people don't like the sequel trilogy, but the boss fights look like they could be okay. Next, we go on to LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. So, the first one that we have confirmed, or slightly confirmed, is Han Solo versus the Rathtar. This was in LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, and it looks like it could be a boss fight. We've only seen one shot of this entire, sequence in the entire thing. We can see Han running away from the Rathtar. It looks like it could be a boss fight. I don't know, but I just popped it on this list, because why not? The next one that we have, which is pretty much confirmed, is Finn versus FN2199. FN2199 is the one who screams out, "Traitor!" Traitor! At Finn, and who has the riot baton. The only evidence that we have of this boss fight is we see one scene where Poe takes his X-Wing and is tossing him in the S-foils of the X-Wing. It looks like it could be the cutscene at the end of the boss fight. So yeah. The next one that we have confirmed to be in the game is Rey versus Kylo Ren. This one is seen, and I believe one shot right here. I'll pop it up on screen. So yeah, this one is confirmed to be in the game, and why wouldn't it be in the game? Because that's probably the biggest boss fight in The Force Awakens. Next, let's move on to Star Wars The Last Jedi. So this one, honestly, we only have one confirmed boss fight in this entire movie, and that is Kylo Ren versus Luke, which is at the end of the movie. But I have 2 ones that I'm going to speculate. Number 1 is Rey and Kylo Ren versus the Praetorian Guards. I think that could be a boss fight because it looks like it would suit it well. But then again, it could just be it could just be similar to the one that we got to see in Return of the Jedi, where you basically just take them out individually. It could be sort of a mini boss fight, but I kind of doubt it. And another one that I really hope is going to be the game, and I actually think this could be a boss fight, is Rey versus Luke. Now, I know, don't call me insane, because I know you're saying Rey and Luke, they're both good guys. But if you remember, in The Last Jedi, they have a quick scuffle where they take their sticks and then they start fighting with those. So I think that could be a boss fight. So it's not actually going to be a lightsaber boss fight. It's going to be more, they take their training sticks and they hit each other. I don't know. I feel like it could be in the game, and it feels like it could actually bring more boss fights to this movie. Now, finally, to the last one, we have Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. So, first off, we kind of have Rey versus Kylo Ren's ship. So, if you remember, in The Rise of Skywalker, she's running, and then she goes to do a backflip and cut off the wing of the ship, and then Rey versus Kylo Ren. So, that was just a quick scene in the movie, and they never actually clashed lightsabers in this part in the movie. This was on Pisana. So this one looks like it could be a boss fight again to just bring more boss fights to this movie. The next one that we have confirmed, and this one I don't know if I'm most excited for in the entire game, but this is definitely my top 3 for most excited boss fights in the entire game. Rey versus Kylo Ren on Kef Bir. Now, Kef Bir is one of the moons of Endor, and honestly, this one looks really cool. Water splashing around, them just throwing their lightsabers at each other, going crazy. This one looks like it could be really cool, and like I said, top 3 most anticipated. Now, the final one for all of the Skywalker saga is Rey Palpatine versus Palpatine. So this one again is not confirmed to be in the game, but we really haven't seen many shots of Exegol in the Rise of Skywalker. I guess it's because they really want to surprise us when we finally get to see Exegol in Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens. So we haven't seen many shots of it, but it looks like it could be really cool, especially with the lightning around. This is another pretty anticipated boss fight, but it looks like this one could be really cool. And that sums up all 20, I think this is 38 boss fights. 38, nearly 40, like I said at the beginning, nearly 40 boss fights in Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Anyways, that's it. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and bye.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
So be it, Jedi. Huh?